You are here for a reason. God's eyes have always been upon you, and now he reveals what's been hidden. Forces conspired to scrutinize your life without your consent, but their plans have been shattered. A chosen protector, empowered by God's will, stands guard over you. You are not abandoned or overlooked. God has intervened, ensuring your safety and delivering this truth directly to you. You've always stood out, a force among the ordinary, and that kind of light draws the darkest shadows. The powers that sought to unravel your world weren't just acting on their own. It was an orchestrated attack, a calculated plan designed to dismantle everything you are, everything you've built. Your success, your influence, the energy that radiates from your very existence threatened those who hide in mediocrity. They saw you rising, and their instinct was to destroy you before your light could grow even stronger. They infiltrated slowly, strategically, like poison. Manipulating others in positions of authority, they weaved lies into the minds of those around you, twisting perceptions, creating illusions meant to unravel your truth. These were not random events. This was precision, aimed at you because you are chosen. It wasn't just your name that was on their lips. It was the essence of who you are, the future they feared you would shape. They understood your potential and sought to extinguish it, believing that if they could bring you down, they could bury the brilliance that sets you apart. But they underestimated one thing: God. His hand has always been on you, watching over every step you've taken. When the darkness closed in, he shattered it. God stepped in, not as an afterthought, but as a force that surged through your existence, breaking every chain they tried to bind you with. The investigation, the scrutiny, the lies, none of it stood a chance against the shield he placed around you. He saw what they were doing before you even felt the weight of their plots, and he dismantled it, piece by piece, until there was nothing left of their plan but dust. You stand protected, not because of luck, but because of purpose. God has marked you as one of the chosen. Nothing can harm you without his permission. They wanted to watch you fall, but instead they've witnessed your rise, untouched, invincible. This is not just survival, it's divine preservation. You felt it, an invisible weight pressing down, a sense of unease that clings to you like a shadow. This wasn't your imagination. This was the enemy closing in, moving through the cracks of your life, trying to weaken you. You weren't paranoid, you were under attack. But this assault wasn't just physical or emotional, it was spiritual warfare. The enemy has long known you're chosen, marked by God's favor, and that puts a target on your back. The violation wasn't just of your personal rights. It was a direct attempt to steal what has been ordained for you. Forces of envy and jealousy crept into your circle, cloaked in false smiles and well-rehearsed words. These were not distant enemies, they were close. Their proximity made the attack all the more insidious. They thought they could dismantle you from within, using the familiarity they had to twist truth into lies, hope into doubt, and joy into sorrow. They believed that their betrayal, hidden behind false loyalty, could break you. But they forgot one thing: God never turns his back on the chosen. The unease you felt is God's way of revealing the treachery around you. His light pierced the veil of deception, exposing the source of your turmoil. The enemy moved through those who envied your strength, your blessings, and your purpose. Their jealousy burned, consuming them until they became vessels of destruction, aiming to cripple the one they could never match. But God, in his infinite wisdom, has shattered their plans before they could bear fruit. You are not ordinary, you are a chosen one. The battles you face are on a higher plane, and so is your protection. No matter how close the enemy gets, no matter how deeply they've embedded themselves in your life, they cannot stand against the force of God's revelation. You are shielded, favored, unstoppable. You have been walking among the wolves unaware, but God has seen what was hidden. The betrayal that struck you was not the hand of a stranger. No, it was far more sinister, far more personal. It came from someone within your closest circle. Someone whose envy grew with every success you achieved. Their resentment festered as they watched your light grow brighter, knowing deep down that your favor came from a higher source. They could not bear the brilliance of what God has placed upon you, so they sought to destroy it. This person, trusted and cherished, fed on the glow of your accomplishments while secretly plotting your downfall. Every smile they gave was a mask, every word of encouragement was a lie. They moved in shadows, weaving a scheme that aimed to dismantle your foundation, brick by brick, but they miscalculated, thinking that they could operate unseen. God has long known the depths of their jealousy, and his divine hand has now begun to expose their true nature. Their plans are crumbling, just as their heart was consumed by the bitterness that pushed them into treachery. The signs will become clear. You may have already felt the shift, subtle at first but undeniable. The betrayer is losing their grip. Their actions, once cloaked in secrecy, will soon be laid bare. God's light will illuminate the hidden cracks in their facade, and you will recognize the one who betrayed you. No whisper, no deceit, no mask can hide from the truth that God is now revealing to you. You are chosen, and the forces that rise against you only do so because they see what is destined for you. But let's be real. No betrayal, no scheme, no earthly plot can undo what God has ordained for you. The betrayer will fall, exposed by the very light they tried to extinguish. You will remain unshaken with the clarity of God's revelation. The obsidian inner circle, powered by astral atom, is where the real chosen ones gather. Those who can't be touched, no matter how hard the enemies try. In here, we don't just talk about standing strong, we live it. Betrayals, schemes, they crumble in your presence. Your light is too powerful, your purpose too divine. This space isn't for the faint-hearted, it's for the ones who know they're untouchable, the ones who watch as enemies fall under the weight of their own desperation. If you're done playing small and ready to step fully into your ordained power, then join the inner circle. You'll have uncensored access to exclusive content and the creators of Astral Atom. Real power, real knowledge, real ascension. The link is in the description. You have walked through a battlefield disguised as life, where unseen forces sought to undo you. Their intentions were clear: to cripple your spirit, destroy your purpose, and leave you vulnerable. But what they failed to account for was the divine force that intervened on your behalf. God did not leave you exposed. Even as these enemies sharpened their weapons, he placed a protector in your life, an appointed guardian, unseen but ever present, shielding you from the full force of their malicious intent. This protector was not an accident, not a coincidence, but a deliberate act of God's will. Sent with authority from the heavens, this figure has stood between you and the evil that wished to break you. They have deflected the attacks, absorbed the arrows aimed at your heart, and dismantled the traps laid for you. Without you even knowing, they have fought battles in realms you cannot see, battles that would have brought you to your knees had they reached you. You walk untouched, not by chance, but because this protector has carried the weight of your enemy's wrath. You may not yet recognize this protector, but they are there, strategically placed by God. They operate in silence, not for recognition, but out of obedience to a higher calling. Their mission is divine, their purpose clear: to guard the chosen. You. Every step they take is guided by the hand of God, ensuring that no harm befalls you, that every plot against you crumbles before it can touch your life. Their presence is an extension of God's own protection over you, a shield of grace that ensures your path remains clear. Know this: as God's chosen, you are never left unguarded. Though the battles rage, though enemies conspire, they will never reach you because God has already appointed your protector, and under his authority, you are untouchable. A storm is gathering on your horizon, larger and more intense than any you've faced before. This is not a mere test of endurance, it is a crucible, a moment that will define your future. The challenge will arrive with the weight of destiny upon it, demanding a choice that will alter the course of your life. In this trial, you will not be given easy answers or clear paths, but you must understand, God has already prepared you for this moment. He is not silent, nor is he distant. His hand will guide you if you trust it. Your faith and resolve will be shaken, pushed to their breaking point. The enemy will whisper lies into your thoughts, clouding your vision, trying to lead you astray. These dark forces seek to capitalize on your doubts, weaving false truths to steer you from God's purpose. The pressure will mount, and the weight of this decision will feel unbearable. But know this: within you lies the strength God has cultivated through every battle you've faced. He has poured His wisdom into your soul, and in this moment, it will rise like fire in your bones. God calls you to trust, not just in Him, but in the intuition He has placed within you. This decision will not be made by logic alone. It is a spiritual reckoning. The right path may not appear easy or obvious, but it will align with the truth God has written on your heart. As you stand at the crossroads, the weight of this choice will extend beyond yourself. The ripple effects will touch the lives of those around you, shaping their futures as well. Do not fear the trial ahead. You have been chosen for this. Stand firm in your faith. Listen to God's voice over the noise of deception, and you will walk the path that leads to victory, not just for you, but for all who walk with you. You are not here by accident. Every trial, every wound, every shadow that has crossed your path was not meant to destroy you, but to refine you. These struggles, the ones that nearly broke you, were God's way of preparing you for something greater, something only you could accomplish. You have been chosen, set apart for a purpose that transcends earthly ambition. The storms you've weathered were never random. They were forging you into the leader He has called you to be, a vessel for His will. God's plan for you is vast, and the role you must play is unique. You have been molded through pain and perseverance, and now you stand at the threshold of your purpose. The betrayal that once left you reeling, the enemies that plotted in secret, the investigation that sought to unravel your life, these were not setbacks. They were stepping stones. Each was a test, sharpening your resolve, deepening your wisdom, and strengthening your faith. You have passed every trial, not through luck, but because you are chosen. God has been guiding you toward this moment, aligning every hardship for the unfolding of His divine plan. Now you are ready. The time has come to step into your role as a leader, a guide, someone who others will look to in their own moments of crisis. You have been given the rare gift of endurance, of vision, and of divine insight. God is calling you to use this strength not just for yourself, but for those He will place in your path. You will become a beacon for others lost in their trials, an example of what it means to stand firm in faith. You are no longer simply enduring, you are leading. And this is what you were made for. You are not walking through this world alone. God, in His infinite wisdom, has surrounded you with forces beyond sight, angels, ancestors, and spiritual guides, all tasked with watching over you. These are not distant, abstract beings. They are present, vigilant, and attuned to your every step. Their purpose is to ensure that you move forward in alignment with God's will, to protect you from the unseen dangers, and to guide you toward the destiny laid out before you. You may have felt their presence, subtle yet undeniable. Recurring signs, a sequence of numbers that seems to follow you, or seemingly random patterns that catch your eye, are not mere coincidences. They are divine messages, coded reminders from the spiritual realm that you are walking the path God has designed for you. These signs are not small. They are the whispers of angels, the nudges of ancestors who have lived before you, urging you to trust in the divine process at work in your life. Every moment, every symbol is a reminder that the hand of God is firmly on your shoulder, guiding you through the storms and the uncertainties. These guides are relentless in their duty. They clear obstacles before you even see them, fight battles on your behalf in spiritual realms you may never comprehend, and place signs in your path to remind you that you are seen, heard, and protected. Their presence is a manifestation of God's love for you, a reassurance that even when you feel lost, you are never truly alone. The divine forces around you are constantly working, shifting the winds of fate, bending the very fabric of reality to keep you aligned with God's plan. You are chosen, and because of that, your every step is safeguarded by these powerful protectors. Their guidance is not passive, it is active, intentional, and filled with divine purpose. Trust the signs, trust the protection. You are exactly where God needs you to be. A truth long hidden is about to surface. The mask someone has worn, pretending to be your ally, is about to be ripped away by the force of divine revelation. This individual, whose false loyalty has deceived you, has been operating from a place of manipulation and deceit, hidden in plain sight. They have whispered words of support, but behind the scenes, their actions have worked against you. God, who sees all, is preparing to expose their true motives, and when this truth emerges, it will be undeniable. The veil of deception is tearing, and what lies beneath will shock you. God does not let darkness hide forever, and now his light will shine on this person's betrayal. Their manipulation, their underhanded tactics, their envy, everything they thought they could conceal is about to be brought to the surface. You will be faced with the undeniable reality that someone you trusted has been working against you. This revelation will not come as a whisper, but as a roar, shaking the foundations of what you thought you knew. And in this moment, you will have to make a critical decision. Do you confront them head-on, exposing their treachery to the world? Or do you step back and allow God to administer his divine justice, knowing that no human confrontation could match the reckoning he is preparing? This is not a choice to be made lightly. The weight of this decision will press on you, testing your faith and your resolve. But understand this: God's justice is swift, sure, and unstoppable. The one who betrayed you cannot outrun what is coming. Trust that whether you choose confrontation or silence, God's hand is already moving. The deception has no power in the face of divine truth. You have been chosen to walk in the light, and no scheme against you will stand. This revelation is not your defeat, it is your vindication. You stand on the threshold of something greater than you've ever known, and God has already set in motion the arrival of divine allies to help you fulfill what has been ordained for you. These are not ordinary connections. They are the result of God's precise timing, a convergence of souls who have been prepared to walk alongside you at this pivotal moment. These individuals will not just enter your life by coincidence. They will arrive with purpose, equipped with the resources, wisdom, and strength to help you reach the next level of your destiny. These allies will be more than mere acquaintances or friends. They are divine partners in fulfilling your calling. Their arrival is like a rising tide that will lift you higher, providing you with what you lack and enhancing what you already possess. Their hands will reach out to steady you in moments of doubt, and their shoulders will bear some of the weight you've carried alone for so long. Their presence will signal a shift, an acceleration of events long prophesied over your life. They're sent to you for a reason, carrying the keys to doors you've struggled to open on your own. With them, you will access resources you couldn't have imagined, connections you couldn't have forged by yourself. They will bring clarity, strategic wisdom, and unwavering support, ensuring that the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable now crumble beneath your feet. Each of these allies has been touched by God's hand, prepared to meet you at this exact moment to help you step fully into your divine purpose. You are not meant to walk this path alone. God has always intended for you to rise with others, those specially chosen to see your greatness and help unlock it. These new allies are more than companions. They are instruments of divine will, sent to ensure that nothing stands in the way of the extraordinary future God has prepared for you. You have fought to control every outcome, to shape every situation by your own hand, but now God is calling you to release that grip. The need to control has weighed on you like chains, dragging you through trials that were never yours to carry alone. God, in his infinite wisdom, is asking you to surrender, not as an act of defeat, but as an act of trust. He has been guiding every twist, every obstacle, every betrayal, with a purpose far beyond your understanding. You're being shaped, refined, and strengthened for a destiny greater than you've allowed yourself to see. The investigation that shook your foundation, the betrayal that cut deeper than you could have imagined, the relentless challenges that seemed too heavy to bear, all of these were instruments in God's hands. They weren't sent to destroy you, but to prepare you for the greatness he has already written into your life. These trials were the fire that purified you, burning away the fears and doubts that tried to cloud your vision. You had to walk through the storm so that you could stand firm in the peace that follows. Now is the moment of release. God is asking you to lay down your fears, to stop questioning the path he has placed before you. Surrender does not mean you are giving up. It means you are stepping into the flow of divine guidance. It means trusting that the unseen forces working for you are greater than any plot against you. The enemies that sought to derail you have only pushed you closer to your purpose. This is the moment to stop wrestling with the unknown and to rest in the certainty that God is in control. His plan is already in motion, and nothing you face is a surprise to him. Trust in his timing. Trust in his protection. Surrender your worries, and you will walk into the destiny that was always yours. Now is the time to stop resisting, to stop second-guessing the divine plan that is unfolding before you. You have been called to greatness, not mediocrity. God has prepared a destiny for you that far exceeds anything you could have built by your own efforts. It's time to rise, to trust fully in his protection, and to step boldly into the calling he has set upon your life. You are not meant to walk in fear or uncertainty. You are meant to lead, to inspire, and to fulfill the divine purpose that has been woven into your very being. Share your story. Let others see the power of God's protection in your life. Your testimony is a beacon for those who are lost in their own struggles, a reminder that no trial can overshadow the light of divine favor. By sharing, you open doors for others to find strength, to trust in God's plan for their own lives. This is your moment. Step into it, and let the world see what it means to be truly chosen.